And we're live. Hello, and welcome to the 82nd episode of HEX Therapy Live. I'm your host, Maddie ALLin. Today, you can ask me anything about market emotions. Thanks for being here during a decidedly bear market. I'm excited to keep doing this weekly stream as long as possible. So hit the like and subscribe button. Got some cool stuff as usual to announce today, along with the weekly topic. So without any further ado, let's hit the intro.
It's from Maddie ALLin of HEX Therapy Live. I like Maddie. Maddie tries to make the world a healthier place. He's a mental health professional. He's done research. Big videos on sudden wealth syndrome. There's nothing that a human being can do better than try and heal his fellow man. Maddie ALLin's got that covered. He does emotional, feel-good, mind management, emotion stuff like as his gig because he's a therapist. That's what he does for a living. Like he helps heal people.
Awesome. So we're live. Hex, last week was my birthday, so I pre-recorded the episode. It did not get as many views, and so I guess YouTube has something against me live streaming, but not really live streaming. And so that's okay. Everybody's back in here today. We're in a bear market, and so there are lots of feelings that your crypto therapist can uncover. And that's what I'm here to do. So go ahead and ask any questions here. Mike is joining at 2:38 a.m. from an undisclosed location, hoping you could stay awake. All right, well, I'll do my part over here. Shout out to Hex Deck 16, who I've chilled with in real life and is saying howdy from Montana. Welcome. My pleasure, Dudley. Good to see you here. Rothko, good to see you. Chase Roberts. So get those questions ready. What questions do you have about market emotions? I think that in general, we are in a macroeconomic situation that is kind of hurting people because of stagflation. It's where the economy isn't growing, and also inflation is hitting us right where it hurts. And this is the exact thing that HEX was designed for, was that people could choose to either sell at an extreme discount. Right now, we're about 90% or more off of our all-time highs. So people can sell for a profit or a loss, depending on how long you've been in the market, or you could stake longer and accumulate more HEX, which continues to get more rare if you're valuing your wealth in shares. Shares are the things that you need in order to hold on to your money printer, which is continually getting more expensive in HEX terms. What's going on, Owl and Frosty Dog? A little help, please. What with? Enrique Torres, hey, from Cali, Maddie, your work is on point. I got in your pool. Hey, that's great to hear. For those people who don't know, I started a pool for a website called for a sacrifice phase that is being done by a couple devs that I've interviewed on Game Theory Gang a couple times in the past. And they are doing basically a competitor to CoinMarketCap. And it's a website called PulseHotList.com. And my pool is the #1 pool as of the last sacrifice balance set that came out earlier today. And people have sacrificed about $20,000. Well, maybe now it's up to $22,000 or $23,000. I've heard other people are going to put 15K in, one person said. And so there's some really cool game theory here, because my pool does not take a profit. And pools in the past for other projects have taken like a 10% cut. And I decided I would rather play the long game. I would rather people appreciate me organizing something that's not for profit. And, maybe if we all pay it forward, we'll end up living in a better world for all. So that's my theory. That's my kind of brand consistent. And, sure, it hurts a little bit to leave money on the table, but at the same time, if you really, really do your research, you can find my referral link. But mostly if you're looking to, what's up with the t-shirt? Oh yeah, this is intentionally ugly. It's a Bitcoin t-shirt. It shows a Bitcoin disappearing into nothing, which is pretty good for HEX. So yeah, this is my it's my OG Bitcoin shirt. So if you go to PulseHotListPool.com, that's my blog post where you can learn more about the sacrifice for that. So it's I'm putting multiple ETH worth of USDC into it just because I think that it's profitable, and I hope that you all don't get into it because then I'm just shooting myself into the foot. Basically, with these sacrifice periods for things that are going to end up being super valuable, it's better for less people to get in. My platform, though, prides itself on transparency. And so I don't like it when people keep sacrifices a secret. And I have criticized people openly for not publicizing a certain sacrifice that they got into with fiat.io or whatever it is. So like for me, I want to do everything above board, even if it's not the best game theory for me. I've decided that the best thing for my audience is also the best thing for me. So our pool is up to maybe in between $22,000 and $24,000 because when they announced the sacrifice set, you can go to, I could show you guys. I'll share my screen here. Go to PulseHotList.com. Oh, cool. It says right here, another sacrifice pool just opened, operated by Maddie ALLin. There are now 2 public pools, PHL pool, operated by community member, and PulseHotList pool, operated by Maddie. You can join both of them now. Here's an advertisement that's sold on the website that, they wouldn't say exactly how much they made from it, but if you look at the example on the website of a fictitious advertisement, somebody paid like $30,000 maybe or $35,000 for 3 weeks worth of ads. This is conjecture on my part, so do your own research and make your own speculation. But for my own investment, I thought that if this website with only 5,000 monthly active users can make $10,000 a week, that gives it a really good value. And the amount that's being sacrificed now is way below what it's actually worth. So please don't invest in it, because then there will be more mad gains for me. So yeah, I guess you click here and it takes you to my blog post, and you can see what my value proposition is and how it's most profitable to pool, what my official address is, starting with 0x8EF and ending in 0603. And yeah, so that's to actually track what's been sacrificed is a little tricky, but if we go to the sacrifice part and then click on PulseHotList.com/sac set, you could see my address here, at least earlier today, was the #1 sacrificer pool with 19,300 sacrificed. And then since then, I think about $3,600 has come in. So that ranks it even higher. I mean, if people are not sacrificing in the #1 pool, they are definitely leaving money on the table right now. And this goes all the way until the last day of the HEX, sorry, the last day of the Pulse Conference .online, which is July 16th. Hex Deck says he just sacrificed for the pool. Boom. So let's see if we can see that. So if we go to Etherscan, which is like the weaker tracking of this. Oh, maybe did you sacrifice directly to the pool? Because listen, people, the way to get the best rate is to join this pool because it's the #1 pool at the time. And again, I don't get any benefit. It's just that my sacrifice that I made myself is worth more. The longer this stays at #1, but let's see if we can see if people are still sacrificing to the main thing, even though it's not as profitable. Because you don't get as good of a bonus multiplier. Even if you self-refer, it's not as good as joining a pool that can get a significant volume bonus. Yeah, I don't see anything. So to your address from the website. Okay, this is the address that people want to send to, and the admins have the key. Hopefully you didn't sacrifice to my donation address, which I could fix that if you accidentally did. Check my donation address just to make sure you didn't send it there. Nope, nothing there. So just confirmed now on MetaMask. Okay. MetaMask was holding out on us. Whoa, there we go. Bang, bang. $5,000 USD coin. That is baller. Good job. That's about what I put in. Yeah, so this pool is now leading the way. And again, about 50% of the profits from the site are being used to buy and burn the token, and only about 100,000 PHL tokens will ever exist. And so that is bullish in my opinion. So if you feel like winning together, then join the club. Yeah, Pulse won't be this slow. There you go. Right on. Yeah, and then there's a Zerion website that allows us to track across multiple chains. Let me show that here. So this shows across multiple chains, but remember that the pool operators, they drain the pool every so often. So if we go to send, we can see that they took out $9,000 here, and then another $8,000 or $9,000 there. And so the pool in its entirety is up to maybe 25,000 now. But again, it's a little bit hard to track, except with the sacrifice set sheet that gets released every day or two, I guess. So that's you can find all of this on PulseHotList.com, and then my blog post, PulseHotlistPool.com. I should probably stop talking about it because I don't care if lots of people, I guess I don't care if lots of people join because they want to win together, but I also don't want to make it too popular so it's less profitable. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, sharing the wealth is a good thing. So what project are you most excited about for PulseChain? I'm most excited for HEX, I would say. Probably because I hold the most HEX, but I don't know. I'm excited for HEX. Yeah. HEX is designed to pump. Everything else is cool, but it's not the same as HEX. HEX is all about time locking and paying your future self. PulseChain, cheap transactions, that's cool, but it's building on to what HEX, to the success that hexagons have already had. You can't separate PulseChain from hexagons. So I see it kind of as an extension of that. Great question. Keep them coming. Rothko knows what's up. Yeah. Please don't participate, folks. Move along. Nothing to see here. What this is all about. Yeah, so I'm just doing an AMA, but I started talking. The first question was about PulseHotList and what people are interested in. Yeah, went up very quickly. Yeah, I just announced this on Tuesday afternoon. So in 2 days, we took the #1 spot. Obviously. What other questions do people have? Ask away. Otherwise, I will be forced to show you the chart of market emotions. Maybe that's what you want. And then at some point, I will tell you the new thing that I'm working on. At some point, but you have to stick around. All right, here we go. Cycle of market emojis. That's not good. It's trying to show us ads. Wall Street cheat sheet, also known as. Let's see. All these are clickbait. It's a little bit blurry. Come on, we can do better than that. When chart of what? Please be more specific. The chart of market emotions. There it is. Maddie, what do you foresee will occur when central bank digital currencies are launched? The general public isn't in crypto, and CBDCs will be spoon-fed to them. I mean, I'll give you my take. I don't know if it's right or not, but listen, as a broadcaster, people just talk about stuff, whatever interests people or whatever you can think of. And that's what we see. Everything in the news cycle, it's not the most important things being talked about, right? It's whatever grabs people's attention the most. So the general public doesn't care about central bank digital currencies. Maybe they don't love central banks, but the central banking system is something they've been indoctrinated into. So, it's like, it's the best choice out of a bunch of bad choices due to inflation. But at the end of the day, I mean, when people save, they try to save in the dollar. So while we see lots of instability all around the world, that's nothing new. That's been going on for decades and decades and decades. So I think it's overblown. I think that we already have a central bank digital currency. It's called the dollar. The majority of the dollars in the world, the vast majority, are electronic. And like PayPal and Venmo and even your digital bank account, like, they already exist. The user interface just sucks. So if they make a better user interface, that wouldn't surprise me. If they try to jam it down more like foreign nationals' throats, then that wouldn't surprise me. If we went to war over currency instead of just creating war with currency, but if we went to war over currency, that wouldn't surprise me. It's it's a thing. So I think that the reports of central bank of there being this like 0 to 1 moment with central bank digital currencies, that's just a false narrative. Like, central bank digital currencies already exist and they suck, but they've got more users than crypto by far. And if central bank digital currencies want to imitate crypto, go right ahead. That would just get people one step closer to jumping in crypto as well. Now, if we're talking about more like centralized control of the dollar and the dollar becoming like less useful because they actually program in rules for how you can use it. I mean, we already have that too. You can't withdraw more than $10,000 out of the bank without people asking questions. There are KYC, AML, know your customer, anti-money laundering laws that already exist and are enforced selectively. So I think that, my PayPal account got shut off because I was selling Bitcoin miners on eBay. Like, it happens. So we already live in that world. And if somebody's telling you a cool story about how the end of the world is coming because for the first time there's going to be a central bank digital currency, well, sure, but that's not crypto related, really. I mean, it's maybe clout chasing crypto or trying to put FUD in people's minds. But I mean, I don't know. It's just, I don't think it's going to be like one moment where we see the change. What's your take on the USDC FUD? Oh, I'm glad you asked that next. Counterparty risk and fractional reserve. What's the best stable in your opinion with the least risk and can't say die? I don't like stables right now because there is FUD around them. I don't know. It's I would rather have dollars in my bank account with a bank that I know and trust, and I spend FaceTime with them by going into the branch to be cool with them, right? And yeah, I mean, they know at my bank that I'm in crypto. They know that, that it's been profitable for me, and that's a good thing because they like me there. So but you want to diversify, and it's up to you how you want to manage your diversification. For me, my balance sheet probably looks something these days like 20%, maybe 15 to 25% USDC, and the rest of my stable is in dollars in the bank. And in some percentage of physical dollars that are well secured. So yeah, that's how I spread my risk. And but before, I mean, a couple of months ago, I was probably 80% USDC. So you could see I've made the shift after learning more about USDC and learning more just in general. I don't think that there's a high chance for USDC to default, but I don't want to expose myself to that risk as much. What's going on? Shout out to you. Okay, so Fawn Owl is making a funny joke about endocannabinoids, CBD. People wishing that instead of switching to the central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, that you could have just stuck with CBD. Well put. Regulators in Europe want more control for transactions over 1,000 euros. This is just the start. I hope enough people have some of their bags already in their own non-custodial wallets. Yep. Hex for me. Hey, that's a familiar name. Good to see you there. Thoughts on DAI as a safe stable? DAI, do your own research into DAI. The rabbit hole goes deeper than anything I've ever seen. There's more documentation about DAI than anything in the world. Literally. There's some deep stuff in there. And my memory told me that DAI at one point wasn't doing well, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But then I went back and researched it now, and I guess it did do well in the last downturn for ETH, like a couple of years ago. So I'm not sure. I wanted to like DAI, and then I looked into it, and it was way too complicated. And at the time, I thought USDC was better. I don't like algorithmic stablecoins more because you have the risk. If it's backed by ETH and USDC and USDT, then you just have risk there. There's risk, even though it's spread out upon multiple things. If your peg goes below 95 cents, everybody's going to freak out anyway. So it doesn't matter if like only one of the three things crashes, people themselves will crash the coin down. I mean, I think there's I don't know. I think there's maybe a 5 to 20% chance of another major failure of something really important like USDT or USDC or something. What's up, Sandy Beach? Yeah, so I'll keep some of my money in stables, but at the end of the day, it's like, do I want to invest this in HEX or do I want to put it in my bank? I can always pull it back out of my bank and put it into, go back through Coinbase back and forth. What do we tell onboards who think HEX will never recover? Well, you might be able to share your own experience about how you thought HEX would never recover. I know I thought there were times when I thought HEX would never recover. Or, yeah, I mean, I felt it. I didn't necessarily think it, but that's an important difference there, right? So I would focus them more on like, you are earning interest and it's trustless, and this is a long-term savings account that's highly risky. And that's worked out for a lot of people. So if you think that PulseChain is going to bring a lot more users into HEX, then you would be wise to have a ladder, a staking ladder that goes 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, and liquid. And that way you can benefit from any price rises that happen. Good evening, Peppy. Always remember the bank can legally steal your money too. Look at Cyprus after the last crash, negative 60% of people's savings taken for national debt. That are failing in crypto more than the bank, because with dollars in the bank could seize your money, but you don't have to worry about Tether and Circle. And I mean, and I don't know if all this is true, but did Circle really loan Three Arrows Capital $1 billion? Because that's really messed up, you know? Completion fails. Good to see you there. Hope everybody's doing well. That's right. So yeah, that's my thoughts on all that stuff. I mean, look, we thought at one point, about over a year ago, we thought that Three Arrows Capital had gotten into HEX, and it could very well be that they ended up selling their position or something. Who knows? Who knows what happened to those guys? But they've been on my radar for a long time. So it's curious to me that they went on all the biggest shows and had such a big following and ended up being complete scammers who stole money from basically every lending platform that existed, including BlockFi and Celsius and even USDC. Wow. I don't see where I'm ecstatic to buy HEX at a deep discount on the cheat sheet. Well, looks like we need to update the cheat sheet because it didn't previously show something where you could earn trustless yield in a bear market. I guess we have to think like pirates. No port is completely safe. Yeah, basically. Yeah, and like, you know, remember that dips are in the game, failures are in the game, and at the end of the day, you want to prepare yourself for success, but to not let yourself get too far into the euphoria or the thrill, or you know, not too far in the high end of emotions or the low end, right? Crypto is it's a fascinating area, and the psychology keeps unfolding. You know, this is my second major bear market, and I continue to learn things, some of which I learned in the first bear market and some of which is brand new, because this is the first time I'm in for having so much value locked up, which is a good thing. Is this future us HEX for me, or is it a different one? July 4th PulseChain launch? I'm not sure. I guess we'll see. It is unclear. So this cheat sheet starts out with hope. A recovery is possible. Then it goes to optimism. The rally is real. Then belief. Time to get fully invested. Go up even further. Thrill. I will buy more on margin. Got to tell everyone to buy. Then euphoria. I am a genius. We are all going to be rich. Then the market dips and you get complacency. We just need to cool off for the next rally. Then anxiety. Why am I getting margin calls? This dip is taking longer than expected. Then denial. My investments are with great companies. They will come back. Then panic. Shit, everyone is selling. I need to get out. Capitulation. I'm getting 100% out of the markets. I can't afford to lose more. Then anger. Who shorted the market? Why did the government allow this to happen? Then it goes sideways for a long time and experience depression. My retirement money is lost. How can we pay for all this new stuff? I am an idiot. And then disbelief. This is a sucker's rally. This rally will fail like the others. And then you get hope again and you go around in circles. The cycle of market emojis, I think, is even better. Optimism, excitement, thrill, euphoria, then complacency, going down, anxiety, denial, fear, panic, anger, then depression, hope, relief, and back to optimism. Cycling between the point of maximum financial risk and the point of maximum financial opportunity. Maddie, back on Quant Gang, you guys predicted that around the 7.5 year mark, we will see a ton of 5,555 day stakes emergency end early. How will this impact the market and what opportunities could that create given share scarcity by then? I saw somebody on Twitter who gave tons of data and somehow I didn't save it. I thought I saved their Twitter account, but there was somebody about a month ago that was showing that that's already started, that there's already been an uptick in emergency end stakes based on the price going down to 3 cents and then popping back up to 10 cents at times, then going back down to where we are now, about 4 cents, right? 3.5, somewhere in there. Yeah. So I think it'll be a good deal for everybody because the payout per T share will go higher to the staker class. But I think it'll increase more and more as all those $100 stakes that started off in the first year are worth hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. They hit their halfway mark. They don't care that they're going to lose the big payday bonus and all of the interest. So it'll be interesting. I think David Feeder's predicting that the origin address will start staking more to decrease the APY to the early adopters so that they can't dump as much HEX all at once. So that is an interesting point of game theory that may or may not happen. So that could be an opportunity. But the real opportunity is just time. That's the biggest opportunity is people planning ahead. You might want to have a series of stakes. If you're a more advanced user, you might want to have some that you can end early because you split it up. And that's what I did is I went through and staked, let's say a big chunk each year. And then I went back through my ladder and staked like 10% of that on each year on the same date. And so if I need to start nuking some of those, not really nuking them, but ending them early, I can do that and get money out in case the price goes up so much that is relevant. But really, the more spread out you are and the more stakes you have coming out periodically to a certain extent, for me, that's yearly, then you're pretty much covered once you get to the point where HEX is appreciated far enough. So, and then the more EES you get of other people, they're getting a good deal because they put in $100 and now they're getting out $500,000, but they're also distributing $500,000 to everybody else. So between the denial and fear stage. Yeah, I don't think we're at the bottom because interest rates haven't gone up all the way yet. Fat Sammy, our community is by far the most positive one in the bear market. This is where we shine on social media. HEX for me. I've been on the crypto roller coaster since 2016. For some reason, I think this bear market cycle will be very short. Well, I hope you're right. That'd be cool. 92 people watching, maybe about 1,000 to 3,000 on the replay. Hit the like and subscribe button. Please help me get to 10,000 subscribers. That would be really cool. I will buy myself an award because I don't think YouTube gives them out anymore if you're less than 100,000. But hey, we're in a bear market, so got to take what you can get, right? Great. So speaking of which, this isn't going to be the longest episode ever. We talked about PulseHotList and what I'm doing with the pool there. But the thing that I haven't told you yet is I am going to be offering a course. And gosh, I wanted to finish it up with the announcement materials, but it'll be coming out probably in the next day or two. The sign up page will launch and you will get to see that it is a 4-session chain analysis 101 course that I will be teaching. We will be going over some really cool topics and it will be occurring on Wednesdays in July. And so that'll be in the evening. You can watch it live and ask questions, or you can watch it on the replay, but it will only be available to people who sign up for the course. The course will cost $99 from Eventbrite, or if you sacrifice $400 or more into my PulseHotList pool.com, you can get the course for free. So it creates a really great opportunity, I think, for everybody to, to win together with this sacrifice or to pay for the course themselves. But either way, I'm going to be collaborating with a dev who is outside of the crypto space, who I know in the real world and who prompted me to put together this course. And so it'll be, it'll be really useful, I think. And the course is going to be starting in 6 days. And so that's why I'm going to get the sign up materials going here. If you go to Eventbrite, if you go to my Eventbrite, you should be able to subscribe to me and then you'll get a message when the course goes live. Or you could just wait and I'll make a separate YouTube video about it. So either way, it's fine. But this is one way that I can support the entire space, give people some good value. Is it called I'm All In? Well, no, it's called Chain Analysis 101. And it's part of 3 courses that people can take to get certified in game theory. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And I'll do the full reveal once I have all the pieces built out. Been working on it today. How do people see my Eventbrite? But that's part of the name. Here we go. I think this is my Eventbrite link. Yeah, so I'm really excited. I have 287 followers on Eventbrite. So all those people will get notified about this new event, and it'll be, again, it'll be an online course. It will only be available to people who have the link, who have either paid $99 through Eventbrite or who have sacrificed at least $400 into my pool for PulseHotList. And the first class, we will go over doing chain analysis on the PulseHotList data set. And that whether you've sacrificed for that or not, that's a good place to start learning the skills that you need. And then we will also go over definitely the origin address for HEX. And I think probably maybe the Godwill or some other like major points of interest for chain analysis. And I'm still writing the objectives for the course. We may or may not have quizzes available and that sort of thing. So yeah, I think it should be really really valuable for people, and I think I'll enjoy doing my first paid course. That is if you're not counting the freebie you get if you sacrifice. You're awesome. We appreciate you and everything you do. I have HEX stakes maturing every 90 days for the next 15 years. Well, congrats to you, and my pleasure. I really enjoy making content here for people. And with yeah, I mean, with that being said, I'm not seeing any more questions, and I have my work cut out for me now because I am organizing the PulseConference.online that's coming up here in just 2 weeks. And I've also got the PulseHotList pool that I created, and this course now on chain analysis that I'm going to be working on. Where's the HEX tie? Let's see. I have 3 different HEX ties. Well, 4 actually, and they are in good care. Actually, 1 or 2 of them got busted because I wore them, and I really wore them hard, I guess. So they had hexagons falling out of them, and but they were so flashy. I want to always have some on hand to like go to the HEX events because they are awesome. So yeah, I mean, with that being said, everybody, you know, the market emotions are a real thing. It's something that it's part of the cycle that we're going through. The best thing that you could do is to prepare yourself by planning ahead and creating a plan and sticking with it. So hopefully this is, you know, a helpful part of your HEX therapy is understanding what stage you might be in, to identify what the emotions are that you're feeling, and to remember that the cycle will come back around in the end. There's always hope. And with that being said, if anybody is suicidal, remember that I have a program you can sign up for, and I will pay you a very small amount of crypto to create a suicide prevention plan. You can access all those materials at cryptosaveslife.com. Takes you to the blog post, and I'll be paying people in a small amount of Pulse tokens when the chain launches. Last time I checked, there were already 12 people that signed up to create a suicide prevention plan, which is incredible to me. So if people are out there, go for it. Where do we find the course? Again, if we sacked more than 400 for the pool, you can see the link when I create it, which I will announce on Twitter and YouTube and Eventbrite and Telegram. So if you haven't joined the Telegram group for the PulseHotList pool, go to t.me/PulseHotListPool. Or you can go to PulseHotListPool.com and you can link to the Telegram there. But that is where I will announce the link to get in the course for free. I would be very interested in that. Not sure if which one you're talking about, but glad to hear that we're making something useful for you. So those are the resources that I have right now to increase your education and hopefully improve your mental health. Remember, in the past, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, we talked about esteeming yourself, which is one of the most important things that you can do with your self-talk. To have more positive self-talk, you can tell yourself, I am worthy of self-care, and then do the self-care at the same time you're complimenting yourself. And that's doing positive self-talk and positive self-care at the same time. That's how we change our subconscious beliefs about ourselves. So even if we believe that we're worthless, or that if we're feeling depressed, these are major ways that we can reverse that. The key is not to even believe yourself that you're awesome and that you're worthy of self-care. But if you tell yourself that, even if you don't believe it, and you do self-care at the same time by making your favorite meal, choosing a new style to have with your clothes or hair or anything, and even if you're just brushing your teeth, or taking a few extra steps in your day to get more exercise, anything you can do for self-care, no matter how low motivation it is, no matter how small it is, when you're identifying it for yourself and when you're practicing it, it can make all the difference in changing your subconscious beliefs about yourself. So the more that you practice self-care and self-esteem as an action verb, something that you do by having positive self-talk, the more that you'll have the materials you need for better mental health. So hopefully that's helpful for people. George, good to see you here. I remember your name from the early days. You're great, Maddie. First time I caught your live stream. Thanks for what you do. Hey, I'm so glad that you caught us live. I am here. I am on an 82-week streak. If you count the 2 or 3 times I pre-recorded the episode, but it's been quite a long time of streaming every Tuesday and Thursday night at the same time, 7:30 Central, or wherever your local time zone will take you. So, of course, every Tuesday night is Game Theory Gang with David Feeder, who's a Pulse validator and OG Hexagon. And then we have had a strong series of founders and experts in many different domains. But what everybody's really going to be looking forward to here is the Pulse Conference .online, which I will be hosting. I need to make the final schedule for that and announce it so that all 33 speakers know when they're going to be speaking and what the format's going to be. And then, of course, we will have the founder of HEX, Richard Hart himself, who has agreed to participate online. About a week and a half ago, I announced that I'm trying to put together a live event for Richard in the United States that is still in progress, to see if we can create a big enough event and have all the factors come into place. So that's another reason why I'm doing things behind the scenes and I'm being transparent with the audience, but it's not finalized. And at the same time, it should be a good, valuable thing if it's possible. I think I've said, maybe I haven't said, that I see about a 50-50 chance of getting Richard here to, well, not here, but to the United States, to Austin, Texas, to do a big arena event. If anybody out there knows any famous musicians who would like to be paid lots of money to come and do a hybrid show with Richard talking about finance and then having the main act come after that, this is part of our big plan to do a big stream with, or to basically to do an event that increases Richard's legitimacy amongst haters. And I really think we're on the edge of getting him onto the Lex Friedman podcast based on the past 9 months of like almost him getting on. But that's where Lex lives, is in Austin, Texas. And so I think if there was a public event there, I think that would be the big thing that would tip the scale and make it so that Richard would still have his invitation that he's gotten previously to go on the Lex show. Take my $6.9. Well, yeah, somebody could sacrifice $6.9 and still get some PulseHotList coins out of there, or points. Can you explain how we verify your individual SAC to the pool? Sure. So explain our individual SAC to the pool. So you would go to this website, which is a little bit different than Etherscan because it goes into different. Lex traveling Europe looking to do podcast. Really? that's really good info. Maybe he could meet with Richard while he's in Europe. Can you tell me anything more about that? So here's my sacrifice pool address as shown on app.zerion.io, Zerion. And that, oh, somebody just donated or somebody just sacrificed more. Not a donation, it's a sacrifice. Let me hit the refresh button here. So we don't have to look. So when we filter by send, that shows us all the times that the money has been sent to the main sacrifice pool. Sorry, sent to the main sacrifice address, that you don't get credit for the pool if you sacrifice directly there. The reason you want to join the #1 pool is because it makes you eligible for a volume bonus. And I would further point out that there's no counterparty risk with me being involved because I chose to have the founders of this project hold the keys. So that's why we consider it a trustless pool, because lots of other pools in the past, they had you send your money to the pool operator, and then the pool operator would send it to the founder, and that was not good. Because, well, it increases risk. It's not that it's not going to work out, but it's just more risk. So if you don't filter by send, then you can go and look and see what address you sent from, right? Or you could, we could look at this person who just sent $1,000 of USDC like 4 minutes ago. We could click on that address to copy it, and then we could go and search on Zerion. Search for that address, and then we could, because you might be looking for your own address, and then you could see where you sent it to this pool. And I just started using this block explorer. Here we go, history, see all, and then it was sent to here. So that's your verification. Anything on the blockchain, any block explorer, you could go to Etherscan, and you could search by the sacrifice address, the pool address, I'm sorry, and then you can go and see under ERC20 tokens if you sacrificed into the pool USD coin. This is only going to show you stuff that's on the Ethereum chain. So if you want to go on to another chain, you can go look on this button right here, the B button, to take you to blockscan.com. But this is what you're probably going to be most familiar with, and where you're going to be able to see all the transactions that came in. And that, in a sense, verifies you that that's how much you contributed. And this counts for self-referral as well. So that's pretty cool. That's your extra 30%, other than the up to 100% volume bonus that you can get if we're the #1 pool at the end of things. But and then if you go here to sacrifice, and then you go to the sac set, that's where you could see that my pool address is the #1 based on these numbers that were released in the past 24 hours, but it's not fully up to date here either. So you could see that the value is 19,000 at that point. And these are not the final volume bonuses that we're going to get, but that's if the thing ended today, which it's not going to end today. These aren't final numbers, but you could see that the max volume bonus that we would get would be a 2.0, which is the 100% that you put in plus another 100% on top of that. And the the max volume bonus that we're getting compared to somebody who did $15,000 worth of sacrifice at this stage with only this many participants, that we're getting like almost a 17% bonus compared to the next biggest player. So that shows you how valuable joining a pool can be, that even if you figured out this self-referral stuff and got the 30% bonus, that you would be getting 17% more if you didn't have 20,000 to put in. And we already have another 5 or 10,000 on top of that. So, hopefully that answers your question. I hope that that's clear enough, that you're going and looking at your address and seeing that you sent it to this address, and then this address is controlled by the founders of the token. So they're the ones who are periodically sending it through to their other address that some people are sacrificing directly to, but not getting as good of a rate as we are in this pool. He posted asking for studio space. Wow, that's interesting. That's good to know. Thanks for letting me know. I'll try to follow up on that. PulseChain is going to make me rich. That'd be great. When is PulseCon? I'm not involved with PulseCon. I no longer get along with the creators of it because they had different values than I do. And I know that they copied kind of the dates that I was doing for stuff. So instead of 3, 6 to 9, which was the HEX conference, theirs is going to be September 6th through 9th. Moon Mutt. I just got my first bottle of Omega 369 this week. Thanks for all you do. Hey, I am super glad anybody who is not on blood thinners who wants to improve your prefrontal cortex should take Omega 369. The prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain that does all the complicated stuff like being patient, problem solving, esteeming yourself, and everything that falls under the category of problem solving. All of our conscious thought is generated mostly from the prefrontal cortex, and 25% of the weight of your brain is supposed to be this Omega 369 stuff that most people don't have enough of in their diet if they're not eating enough fish. And so this is a major life hack. It changed my life. Even though my life was going very well, it took me to the next level by addressing this deficiency that I didn't know that I had. And it's only about $5 to $10 a month worth of fish oil pills that you can get from Walmart or your local grocery store or pharmacy. It's over the counter in the vitamin section, or you can order it from my Amazon link that may or may not work there in the description below. It's I think I made $10 or less of referral income from that since I started talking about it. So the reason I'm talking about it is not to sell you anything. I think you get the best option if you buy it yourself from Walmart. So check it out. I did answer your question. Excellent. So with that being said, everybody, if you're watching this on the replay, please leave a comment and let the algorithm know that you enjoyed this video, or ask a question. Oh, thanks for using the Amazon link. That's what's up. That's the brand that I take, is the Sam's Club basically brand, members mark. And yeah, so anyway, hopefully this has been helpful for everybody. Hopefully you're hanging in there in the bull market, and you're trying to learn as much as you can, trying to build, accumulate, trying to keep yourself mentally well, and always keep improving yourself to become the best version of yourself possible. I really enjoy doing these streams for everybody, and I'm glad that you tuned in. So again, please like and subscribe. Look into all the different links I have and all the projects I have to keep straight at allmylinks.com/allin. And with that being said, everybody, stake wisely, my friends, and peace out.
It's from Maddie ALLin of HEX Therapy Live. I like Maddie. Maddie tries to make the world a healthier place. He's a mental health professional. He's done research, big videos on sudden wealth syndrome. There's nothing that a human being can do better than try and heal his fellow man.
Maddie ALLin's got that covered. He does emotional, feel-good, mind management, emotion stuff, like, as his gig, because he's a therapist. That's what he does for a living. Like, he helps heal people.